Roger Clemens with 17 winning seasons. Only 3 others, all Hall of Famers, who had at least 17 winning seasons. Grover Cleveland, Alexander, and Cy Young. Warren Spahn the other. You could read stats like that all day on Roger Clemens, who today is in search of his 13th win of the year and has an 8-2 lead to work with here into the bottom of the 7th inning.
Up over the 100 pitch mark now with 102 on that last pitch to Mirabelli.
Down the report on Derek Jeter, they're calling it a slight muscle strain on the rib cage on his left side.
Yeah.
Sounded like a broken bat, popped up foul off the right side, and it is indeed a broken bat.
Yeah, you could see Jeter in the dugout, reaching and grabbing that left side, and maybe on one of the slides, either in the second base or the one at home plate. And a doctoring of a new bat for Mirabelli.
What is he doing there exactly?
A little pine tar. It's I don't know if it's exactly pine tar, but some of that sticky stuff you put on there. And Mirabelli has his hand that goes over the bottom part of the bat. That's why he was putting that sticky stuff on that part of the bat also.
I would think that'd be tough on the hamate bone if you hold on to it down there like that.
Pardon me, Dr. Ursello.
Very concerned about Doug's hamate bone because of the way he holds the bat. Remind me to let him know.
Time had been called, and Roger had no idea that it was called. He was into his stretch, had his head down, and didn't know that the umpire and the catcher and everybody had called time. Here's Mirabelli with the time, the hands up. Roger's looking at third base, then down at the ground, and then just
look out,
lets it fly.
Now the 2-2. Mirabelli strikes out. The third strikeout of the day for Roger Clemens, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
There's the splitter again from Clemens. He's hoping for 1 or 2 things there, either the strikeout, which he gets, or the ground ball. That's a ground ball pitch for him, and he gets the strikeout with it.
Here's Gabe Kapler, the Red Sox #9 hitter. Kapler 0 for 2 today as he has popped out to the shortstop and fouled out to the first baseman. Well, the Red Sox and Phillies will play tomorrow. Just the one game. Jeff Suppan getting the start for the Red Sox against Brad Myers, a right-handed pitcher scheduled to go tomorrow for the Phillies. And a strike makes it 1-1 to Kapler. Clemens trying to get his way here through the 7th inning. He's 106 pitches deep into his outing.
It's about the same splitter that he threw to Mirabelli.
Nixon at third, McCarty at first, 2 down, and the 1-2. This thing down low, 2-2 now to Kapler. The Red Sox are unable to come back in this one. They fall 5.5 games behind the Yankees. Popped up foul, and this will reach the screen. Nixon, who reached on a walk, stands at third. McCarty at first with his second single of the day. And Kapler with a count of 2-2. Hard stuff inside that time, and it's a full count.
Well, if Clemens does not get Kapler, it could be his last batter of the day.
They've had double-barreled action in their bullpen. Clemens with the 3-2, fouled back and below us.
Had quite a few up here in our direction today.
I've been on the move a few times. That one was a little too hot to handle as well.
Nothing that has really zeroed in on us, but at least in our general direction.
Again, the 3-2 from Clemens is up and away, and there's ball 4. That one appeared to get out of his hand. And Kapler down to first on the 2-out walk, and here comes Joe Torre to get Roger Clemens. So,
well, we'll hear the reaction from the Fenway crowd as he leaves for maybe the last time.
He will be departing with a 6-run lead. As Joe Torre will take the baseball from Roger Clemens. His last regular season appearance here at Fenway Park has come to an end.
Zimmer trying to get him to go out and acknowledge the fans. They are giving him a standing ovation here at Fenway Park.
And an extended one. And he will indeed come out. A very nice moment at Fenway Park as Roger Clemens has headed back down the runway. It is the Yankees on top here by a score of 8-2 as they've gone to the bullpen. Back at Fenway Park as the Red Sox with the bases loaded, 2 down. And the right-hander in now, Antonio Osuna. This is for ball 1 to Bill Miller. Osuna taking over for Roger Clemens after 6 2/3 innings, his 40th appearance of the year. Foul tipped by Bill Miller, and it's 1-1.
Well, that was a very nice reaction by the fans here in Boston. You know, they rooted against him as he was on the mound. He got mixed reviews on the way out to the bullpen and in from the bullpen. Well, once his work was done, it was a standing ovation here at Fenway Park, and Roger came out to acknowledge the fans here at Fenway. Very nice moment.
And a lot of class shown here today by Red Sox fans at Fenway Park, and it was a very, very nice moment. Inside in the count, 2-1.
Well, now the Red Sox get a chance to go after this Yankee bullpen.
Antonio Osuna on here with 2 outs in the last half of the 7th inning. Bases loaded with Nixon at third, McCarty at second, Kapler at first. In there for a strike over the inside corner to even the count at 2-2. The center field, Bernie Williams coming on, but it'll fall in front of him for a hit. Nixon has scored. Here comes McCarty. 2 runs are in. And it's 8-4 now. New York on top as the Red Sox try to chip away.
Game's not over. I mean, they have had their problems out in the bullpen. We've seen it over and over again. 2-out base hit by Bill Miller. 0 for 5 yesterday. Had been 0 for 3 before this base hit. And the Red Sox now trail it by 4. Again, Joe Torre out of the dugout.
So a pitching change from Fenway. It's now 8-4 Yankees.
Back at Fenway, 8-4 Yankee lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Remind you, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Todd Walker was scheduled to be next, but Jason Varitek is going to bat in his place and face the new pitcher, the left-hander in Gabe White.
Gabe White making his 4th appearance since coming off the disabled list. Was on there with a groin injury. Of course, White coming over from the Cincinnati Reds. Some cash considerations. He did get an out yesterday in the ball game against Walker with the bases loaded.
Todd Walker had been 1 for 3 today with an RBI. Dave Kapler at second, Bill Miller at first, and here's the pinch hitter Jason Varitek. 278, 22 homers, and 79 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. Varitek, who's batting from the right side this season, from the right side, has hit at .330. 8 of his 22 home runs have come from the right side. He evens up at 1-1 to Varitek.
As White throws here, Nelson loosening in the bullpen for New York.
Fouled off the right side. It's 1-2. It took the Red Sox 6 2/3 innings to chase Roger Clemens from the game today and get to this Yankees bullpen. Clemens responsible for the men on, so the book not yet closed on him. With Kapler at second and Miller at first. The 1-2. Ball 2, 2-2. None of these games have been easy for either side. The Yankees right now with an 8-4 lead. Varitek lifts it in the air to left center field. Bernie Williams moving over. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Red Sox do get 2 runs in the inning, and we've played 7. It's 8-4 New York.
Seven complete at Fenway. It's an 8-4 Yankee lead. Stay tuned after the game for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox post-game show with extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis. Hosted by Bob Rogers and a new lineup of studio analysts. After the last inning, the action's just beginning.
Lou Merlone takes over at second base as Todd Walker was hit for last inning, and he was hit for by Jason Varitek, who now does the catching. And the Red Sox have a new pitcher, Scott Williamson, into the game.
15th time in a Red Sox uniform, 15th appearance. Friday he worked against the Yankees. An inning in that game, gave up a hit, also had a walk.
Enrique Wilson leading it off. He's 0 for 3 from the number 9 spot in the Yankees order. 34,482 on hand here today. As you might imagine, a sellout, the 49th sellout of the year, 39th in a row. Evens up now at 1-1 to Enrique Wilson. Started the game at second base. He has since moved to the shortstop spot with Derek Jeter coming out of the game. In the air down the right field line. Trot Nixon moving over towards the dirt, and he'll make the catch on the track down the right field corner for out number 1.
Second baseman, number 12, Alfonso Soriano.
Here's Soriano, who ran for Derek Jeter in the 7th inning, so his first at bat of the game. And he's had the last couple of days off. In there today as a replacement for the injured Derek Jeter, who left with a strained rib cage, is what they're calling it, and listed as day-to-day. Soriano with 28 homers, 72 runs batted in. The numbers certainly not what they were a year ago for Soriano. It's been a different kind of season for him.
Here comes that strike, baby. Here it comes.
Williamson in there for the strike, 1-1. Last year, of course, hitting at 300, just shy of 40 home runs. He had 39 home runs a season ago, and the RBIs up over 100 with 102. In the air to left field, playable for David McCarty. 2 down.
Watching Soriano in this series, he's still very close to the plate, but doesn't seem to be quite as close as that last time we saw him in New York, where actually his hands were out over the plate. He's still uptight, but I don't think he's quite as close as before.
That was dramatically up close last time we saw it. He is out number 2 here in the top half of the 8th inning, and it brings up Nick Johnson. Johnson has been hit by 2 pitches in the game, one by Tim Wakefield in the 1st inning, and once in the 7th by Scott Sauerbeck. On the ground to second base, Lou Merlone just into the game, throws him out, and Scott Williamson enjoys a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. On to the bottom of the 8th, 8-4 New York. Silo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park, last of the 8th inning. 8-4 New York on top. Garcia-Parra, Ortiz, and Millar expected in the inning, and they're facing the left-hander Gabe White back out on the mound. And the Yankees with a 4-run lead. Garcia-Parra is 0 for 3 in this one. He's grounded out and flied out twice. Little number in front of the plate. White off the mound. Got to hurry up, and the throw gets there in time to get Garcia-Parra for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Let's take a look at the game summary with one away here in the 8th. The Yankees with 3 RBI singles in the first to get to Tim Wakefield early. Williams single, a couple of walks for Bernie, and Bill Miller with a 2-run single for the Red Sox. Clemens in his last regular season appearance, most likely here at Fenway Park, 6 2/3, 4 runs, 6 hits. Tim Wakefield 6 innings, giving up 6 runs, 5 of them were earned. David Ortiz 1 for 3 in the game today. The one part was a single back in the 2nd inning. Since then, a strikeout and a flyout. The Yankees after the game will be headed to Toronto to get ready to face the Toronto Blue Jays. They also have a day game tomorrow. That's at Sky Dome. Strike makes it 0-2 to David Ortiz. This is the 4th appearance for Gabe White in a Yankees uniform. Acquired by the Yankees from Cincinnati in exchange for cash considerations.
Seems like there's Cincinnati players on every team in the major leagues now.
That was a fire sale going on there. 1-2 missed, and it evens up at 2-2. Another of the Cincinnati players who left town. The Red Sox have their own, and Scott Williamson. You're right, they're all over, sprinkled throughout the major leagues here for the stretch run. One gets away, and Ortiz went from being down 0-2 to a full count. Jim White in 34 relief appearances with the Reds was 3-0 with a 3.93 earned run average. Aggressively holding left-handed batters to a 241 average as he faces the left-handed hitting David Ortiz. And walks him with one down here in the bottom of the 8th.
First baseman, number 15.
That's certainly not what Joe Torre wanted there with one out. He's got the lefty-lefty matchup. And he walks David Ortiz. Now he's got to deal with the right-handed hitting Kevin Millar, who's 0 for 3 today. The Yankees at the moment do not have any action in the bullpen. Well, it looks like Alan Embry is up in the Boston pen. Strike one to Millar. And Embry has been up a little bit, just looking on now.
Yeah, I got the lefties with Giambi, of course the switch hit of Brilliant Williams, and then Matsui due up in the 9th.
Big swing from Millar, and it's 0-2. Roger Clemens today going 6 2/3, giving up 6 hits, 4 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 3. In the air to center field, Bernie Williams back there to make the catch for out number 2. Back to the bag at first goes Ortiz.
Well, Joe Torre called yesterday's game for the Yankees maybe the biggest of the season. I thought I recall him saying that last time they were in town in a particular game, but it was a huge win, especially, you know, they fall behind very quickly in that game. They come back in a game that's Pedro's pitching, and they run it back to 4.5 games, actually 5 in the loss column. Today is a huge game for the Red Sox, with the focus still being on the Yankees.
Also saying that he felt this collection of Red Sox was the best he's seen in recent history. As Nixon takes the strike. Red Sox beginning the day 4.5 games back in New York. Could be 5.5 by day's end. Well, a half game behind Seattle. But Oakland just reeling off the victories. They've won 8 in a row. The Oakland A's. One hopper nicely snared to the backhand by Giambi for the final out of the inning. We played 8 from Fenway with the Yankees on top 8-4. Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by New England Ford dealers, by the Bone and Joint Center at Caritas St. Elizabeth, where you don't have to be an all-star to be treated like one, and by Magner's Cider. Top half of the 9th inning with the Yankees on top 8-4. And the new Boston pitcher, left-hander Alan Embry, into the game.
Tough outing yesterday for Embry. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, a couple of earned runs against the Yankees. Embry, in those comments after the game, really took all the blame for the loss yesterday. He said, my guys battled back all day long, and I couldn't get the job done out there.
Facing Jason Giambi, who does not have a hit today and really has struggled lately. In fact, he struck out twice today and grounded into a double play. He's also walked. There's center field. On the move goes Kapler, moving back to make the catch shy of the warning track for the first out of the inning. Hit pretty well. Giambi 0 for his last 21. Hits it hard, but he's out number 1.
And the Yankees have a chance to win 2 out of 3 at Fenway, and really without a major contribution from Giambi in this series. They've been able to keep him quiet.
One down now for Bernie Williams. He's been on base 3 times today. Williams with a single in the first inning to drive in a run. He's also walked twice today, once intentionally. That was back in the 7th inning. He ended up coming around to score the 7th New York run, as the Yankees were able to put together 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, 1-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, David McCarty, Lou Merlone, and Gabe Kapler are the expected hitters for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th. At the very least, they'll be dealing with a 4-run deficit.
Looks like Jeff Nelson is throwing out in that bullpen too for the Yankees.
Strike evens it up at 2-2 to Bernie Williams. Since Bernie's come off the DL, which was July 9th, he's hit at .269 for New York. He has 42 games while on the disabled list this season for the Yankees. Swing and a miss. Emery strikes out Bernie Williams for the 2nd out of the inning.
Fastball at 96 miles an hour that time from Embry to pick up the strikeout against Bernie Williams.
Left fielder, number 55. Hideki.
The last 2 innings, Williamson with a 1-2-3 inning. A couple of quick outs here by Embry.
The Red Sox pitching is retired 6 in a row, as Matsui stands in. He has reached twice today on errors. An error committed in center field by Gabe Kapler, a throwing error by Doug Mirabelli. The Red Sox have 3 errors in the game today. Two by Gabe Kapler in center and 1 by Doug Mirabelli. Lifted in the air down the left field line, back and out of play. Jeff Suppan to get the start tomorrow for the Red Sox in the 1 game against the Philadelphia Phillies, up against right-hander Brett Myers. Strike 2 to Matsui, 1-2. Well, the Yankees leading the 19-game season series. 8-7 coming into this action here today. Will be 9-7 against the Red Sox if they can hold on here today. Well, the games left in New York over next weekend. Did he go? No. This is Mark Carlson. Center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Kapler moves over to cut it off on the backhand. And a 2-out single for Hideki Matsui.
Well, you know, we didn't know much about Matsui, obviously, coming over from Japan, but he's turned out to be a very good player for the Yankees. Not the home run numbers, obviously, that he hit in the Japanese league. He's got 15 on the season, but he's got 92 runs batted in. Just a good, disciplined hitter.
Here's Posada. He's been on base 3 times today. A single, a double, and a walk.
Here it comes. You're not ready. Here it comes.
And that one gets away from Embry. 95 miles per hour, but up and away that time to Posada.
Here comes that strike. You're on yourself. You got nothing. Yankees stop. Told you. Strike one.
Posada broke the bat on that foul ball, so he goes and gets a new one with a count now of 1-1. Well, the Yankees got off to the early start today. A 3-run first inning off Tim Wakefield for the Yankees. Red Sox got back within a run. That's the closest they've been today. As the Red Sox got 2 in the 3rd. New York with 2 more in the 5th and 3 in the 7th to open things up. An 8-2 lead before the Red Sox scored twice in their half of the 7th. It is 8-4 now. New York here in the top of the 9th. 2 down. Runner at first. And then the 1-1 Posada. 1-2. Red Sox with that series still left to play in New York. And Pedro Martinez scheduled to go in the first game of that series next Friday. Posada fouls it off to stay alive, still 1-2.
Pedro will have the extra day's rest. The Red Sox do have an off day on Thursday between the series in Chicago and New York, so that'll allow Martinez to have that one extra day.
Tough one for him yesterday. Certainly not, I guess, 100% health-wise yet for Pedro Martinez.
Certainly didn't look it yesterday in that game. I was not here to see it. I did watch it on TV, but
Posada pops it up. Let's see if it's playable for Varitek coming back. Discards the mask and had to battle some fans, but somehow made the catch. Nicely done. Basket catch for Varitek. Had some obstacles, but he pulls it in for the final out. We're on to the bottom of the 9th. It's 8-4 New York.
last chance for the Red Sox. They trail it by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, now it's time for the Sam Adams good decision of the game. Derek Jeter in the 5th inning on the base hit here by Johnson. He goes through the stop sign. It ended up being a good decision for Derek Jeter as he slides home safely to give the Yankees a run in this ball game. Sam Adams, when you're ready for a tasty brew, always a good decision.
Well, the Yankees will use their 4th pitcher of the day as they bring on Jeff Nelson to work the 9th.
Nelson's made 13 appearances in a Yankee uniform, 59 now overall on the season, combined between Seattle and New York. Had a rough time yesterday, 3rd of an inning, hitting the walk against the Red Sox.
David McCarty, who's had a pretty good game, 2 for 3 here today for the Red Sox, leads it off. They'll be followed by Lou Merloni and Gabe Kapler scheduled here in the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox in need of 4 runs to tie. Jeff Nelson was certainly upset the Mariners did not make many moves around the trade deadline, and then it became a move of his own soon after that when Seattle shipped him off for Armando Benitez. Hopper out of the reach of Boone and into left field. McCarty with his 3rd hit of the day is aboard to begin things in the bottom of the 9th.
And David McCarty's been swinging the hot stick for the Red Sox. 3 hits again today. This ball hit hard, a fastball that stays inside. Topspin line drive quickly past Boone at 3rd base. So it looks like Rivera is going to get up in that bullpen for New York just in case. sure Torrey would love to stay away from him today.
Well, Lou Merlone batting for the first time. He took over defensively at second base for Todd Walker, who had been hit for earlier by Jason Varitek. Merlone with the Padres this season in 65 games at .272. And right now Nelson struggling 2-0 to count to Merlone. Well, this will bring Stottlemyre out. He has sort of been all over the place.
It's not the easiest conditions right now for hitters either. You got the pitcher standing in the sun and then shade almost all the way to home plate.
So Rivera up in the bullpen in case here for the Yankees. Jeff Nelson giving up a leadoff single to David McCarty. Now he's fallen behind Lou Merlone 2-0. Dave Kapler waits on deck. One hopper off the glove of Boone and into left field. Up to second base goes McCarty, and Merlone reaches at first base.
Hit in just about the same direction. Again, a topspin ground ball. That'll get by Boone. Well, the Red Sox have the first two runners on here in the bottom of the ninth. Nelson continues to have problems.
They ruled it a hit, and Lou Merlone on with a base hit at first base. The first two have reached here in the ninth. Osada out there to talk to Jeff Nelson. Rivera warming up in the bullpen. He's probably about ready. He is sort of just throwing one and then stopping for a while, and a long time in between tosses down there for Rivera. Dave Kapler stands in on the right side.
2 hits against Nelson on his fastball. His best pitch is that big sweeping breaking ball.
And the strike to Kapler. Never had a hit against Jeff Nelson. 0 for 7, 4 strikeouts for Kapler. Chop to third base. Boone with only one play, and he fires it to first to get Kapler. As the Red Sox have 2 move into scoring position on the chopper to third. There's 1 away.
Yeah, Boone not even wasting his time looking at second base. He just wants to get the 1 out in this inning, get the first out. Has to charge the ball, place it on the short hop, and his only thought was to go to first base to get the sure out.
Now Bill Miller bats with first base open. And a single his last time up to drive in a pair of runs in the 7th inning. And Nelson starts off ahead of him. Jason Varitek waits on deck for the Red Sox, batting in the number 2 spot in the Boston order now. Varitek came on to pinch hit in the 7th and flied out to center field. Above us, backing out of play. 1-2 now to Bill Miller.
It's like the Yankees in this series have tried to go upstairs quite a bit against Bill Miller.
McCarty at third, Merlone at second base. 1 down here in the bottom of the ninth. The Red Sox looking for some magic here in the ninth, down by 4 runs. right side. Soriano camped underneath, equidistant between first and second base. He makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
There it is again, Don. Again, a high fastball from Jeff Nelson, and Bill Miller having a tough time staying off that pitch. Back-to-back high fastballs.
That's amazing, and it's taken all season for somebody to come up with some kind of theory against Bill Miller, really, because there's a guy, as we mentioned, beginning the day, tied with Nomar Garciaparra in the top spot in batting average, and the Yankees making that adjustment, apparently, as you mentioned,
and have had some success with it.
So 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. It'll take something from Jason Varitek if we are to continue. Strike 1 to Varitek. Jason Varitek has never had a hit against Jeff Nelson. 0 for 6 in his career against Nelson. Rivera now just looking on from the bullpen. He's not warming any longer. He's ready if they need him. Varitek tried to hold up. They will check third. He did not offer, says Carlson. He did indeed hold up. $34,482 on hand here today. Hoping the Red Sox can come from behind. 3-1 now to Varitek.
One more base runner. You get Garciaparra to the plate.
Fouled off at a full count to Varitek.
That ball might have been up and out of the strike zone.
Certainly up. Varitek out after that pitch. It's a full count now, as Posada had gone to the mound briefly to talk to Jeff Nelson. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. McCarty at third, Merlone at second. And Varitek trying to keep the Red Sox hopes alive. Ball 4. He'll make his way down to first base, and the Red Sox will bring the tying run to the plate, and Nomar Garciaparra here in the 9th. Joe Torre headed to the mound. He's got Rivera ready to go on the bullpen. Nelson leaves. The Red Sox have got the bases loaded. 2 down in the 9th. Come back and join us. It's 8-4 New York.
Fenway, the Red Sox will bring the tying run to the plate in Nomar Garciaparra. Well, family bargain games are back, and most tickets are 25% off. Join us at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox take on the Devil Rays September 15th through the 18th, and the Orioles September 22nd through the 24th. Tickets are available 24 hours a day by calling toll-free 877-RED SOX 9 at redsox.com or during business hours at Fenway.
An interesting outing for Jeff Nelson, who leaves with the bases loaded and leaves things to the Yankees closer, Mariano Rivera.
30 saves on the season in 36 opportunities for Rivera. Yesterday, he pitched an inning in the 3rd with a couple of walks and a strikeout in that ball game. And I'm sure this is a game that Joe Torre didn't want to or expect to have to use him in.
Garciaparra 0 for 4 today as he bats with McCarty at third, Merlone at second, and Varitek at first. Fouled above us and out of play. .389 in his career with the bases loaded, 4 grand slams for Garciaparra. He hits one here that may bring down the house here at Fenway Park. They are all standing all the way around. The 0-1. And this is away, evens up at 1-1. The Yankees, since Clemens left in the 7th, have used Osuna, White, Nelson, and now Rivera. Fouled off the right side, and it's 1-2. Rivera's 1-2. Nomar strikes out, and the Yankees have taken 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. Red Sox have the potential tying run at the plate, and Garciaparra with the bases loaded, but Rivera comes on and silences Garciaparra and the Red Sox as the Yankees hold on to win 8-4.
Well, the Foxwoods' chance play of the game, Roger Clemens' day here at Fenway Park. 6 2/3. He had 3 strikeouts, gave up 6 hits and 4 runs, and what might be his final appearance here at Fenway Park. Gets congratulations from his teammates, and then a nice round of applause, standing ovation from the fans. He acknowledges that. The Foxwoods' chance play of the game.
Now, Roger Clemens getting his 100th career win here at Fenway Park today as part of the victory for the Yankees, who win at 8-4. Clemens with his 13th win of the season here today, 13-8 with the win. Wakefield drops to 9-6 with the loss, and Rivera picks up his 31st save of the season. For Jerry Remy, this is Don Orsillo saying so long from Fenway. Again, the final: the Yankees 8, Boston 4. Now it's time for the W.B. Mason's Extra Innings with Bob Rogers and Bob Tewksbury.
Donnie, thanks very much. Really uncharacteristic to see the Red Sox defense play as sloppily as they did today, Tukes. Maybe not be the reason why they lost the game, but it certainly was a factor.
Well, it was. You know, the ball that Kapler happened to drop in the outfield cost a run, and then the throw Mirabelli had was 2 runs. So it wasn't. It was a factor in the game, but it wasn't the reason they lost this game.
Roger Clemens gets his 100th Fenway Park win. We will be in the clubhouse for the Yankees and hear from him, and we'll have more on the reaction that he got from the Fenway crowd. W.B. Mason's Extra Innings is next.